Hey, folks, Dave here. The other day, I had this thought. What I did is I went to my channel, which is coming up on its fifth anniversary. I believe that's in a week or so. I've told this story before how I started. I think the first video of mine was on November 12th, 2015, but because it was so close to the end of the year, I've always considered that 2016 and that little bit of change of 2015 as my first year. But regardless of semantics, as I'm coming up on my the end of my fifth year, I thought I would go to my channel and kind of take inventory. Especially because, for the past couple of months, I've tried a new format with the way I approach impressions videos. I've been doing Let's Plays of them instead of my normal impressions videos. Yes, redundancy. I'll try my best to talk properly during this, but I make no promises. My mind tends to wander a bit and it gets stuck on certain things, but we'll see how we go. I'm hoping that this video will be short, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, so I watched the top 10 most popular videos on my site in hopes that I might glean some ideas from them about what my audience likes, what works, what I think works, what doesn't. That may be moving forward past 5 years, if I still want to keep doing this, that I can forge a more solid identity of what this channel is and what I want to do in regards to talking about video games. Oh, that brings up a good point. The name of my channel. It was always kind of tongue-in-cheek. I never knew what to call it, so I'm like, well, my name is Dave and I talk about video games, so what about Dave Talks Video Games? And as time has gone on, I've been thinking that I should have a snappier title. I have no idea what that is. I've devoted a lot of time to thinking about it, but I just can't come up with anything. So this will be the first of many times where I say, if you have any ideas what you think would be an appropriate name for my channel, please let me know in the comments or over Twitter. But yes, I was looking at the top 10 videos and I was making notes about what I might gain from these videos. And it was a quite useful exercise, especially because some of the videos in my top 10 are there just because of time. They're videos I made in 2016 when I really didn't know what I was doing or what I wanted to do as much as I do now. So, they're a lot shorter. They end very abruptly. One of the things about my older videos is I never felt like I discussed the game properly, even in my impressions videos, which these are. Ramble, Dave. Yeah, so, I think I learned from those that are still, oh yeah, so they're popular because for whatever reason, these videos caught fire, and throughout the years, they've just been gaining more and more views as time rolled on. Even to this day, they're constantly in my top 10, which continually baffles me because I think they are not my best work. But then again, one of my top 10, in fact, the critique, the critiques are what I'm most proud of on this channel because they take the most time and I dedicate the most brain power to them. My Killer 7 critique is constantly in my top 3 videos, day after day after day, and I think that's probably one of the most comprehensive and concise videos I've ever made. It's like, this is a game that confuses a lot of people who played it, so I read up on it after I finished playing it this time. I love the game. Can I adequately put forth an interpretation that makes sense to me and might help other people? And that's the crux of what I've been wanting to do more and more, is to create value for others. That's why last year I turned the name of the video from Dave's Impressions to Should You Play? Because I thought maybe trying to answer that question would be of benefit to others. And it did work in a way. A couple of the impressions videos from that year are constantly in my top 10 as well. And it makes me think that not only are people interested in this game, but they watch my video to see if it would be for them. And because the video is so popular, I guess I was able to adequately answer that question. I'm very happy that I was. So I would like to do more of that going forward. I guess this is a roundabout way of saying I'd like to go back to making impressions videos the way I used to. Even before the Should You Play, I'd like to call them Dave's Impressions. The reason I'm making this video is I actually wrote and created a video for I Have No Mouth and I'm a Scream, which will come out tomorrow. And this was an exercise of, I really wanted to get right to the point of what I liked about the game straight away, what I found interesting about the game. I wanted to talk about what about the game wasn't working for me and why, and then I wanted to say, not should you play, but would I recommend the game? Because I think there's a benefit, like there's a balance between talking about the game in regards to what I think other people might like to hear, and then talking about the game about what I might like to hear. Because, I am the person that played the game. I am the person who's writing about the game and making the videos. So obviously, my thoughts are of the utmost importance. And I guess the people who subscribe and watch my videos, the reason they do that is they want to hear my thoughts in regards to these games. But then again, I don't want to get too self-indulgent. I don't want to make it too much about me and what I think. So I think there needs to be a balance between do I think other people will like this and what do I think? And in this video, I might have found a compromise. The last paragraph, the end of the video, is about whether or not I would recommend the game to people, why or why not. And we'll have to see if that is adequate for my goals. Because moving forward, it's so weird. Like, I did enjoy doing the Let's Plays. They were a lot of fun because I was able to kind of talk about the game as I was playing it. And I've kind of brought that over to playing through games on my own leisure, especially because I'm going through Dark Souls at the moment for a critique. And as players of that game would know, it can be quite maddening at times. But the ability to talk myself through what's happening as I play the game and to ask myself questions about what I might need to do to get past this bit that's frustrating me has been quite beneficial. I've been making good progress. And I look forward to finishing the game so then I can decide how I want to write about it in regards to a critique. That's another thing, talking about value. I don't know if I want to adhere too strictly to this, but it seems like a benefit of my impressions videos are that they fall under 5 minutes. The idea that a lot of people don't have much time, and I think that's another reason why I was not seeing the views on my Let's Plays that I would have liked, is that who has a spare half an hour to watch a video when, especially from this channel, my channel, when I used to just be able to tell you about the game in 5 minutes. You could watch it over a lunch break or, between whatever else you're doing. It was very easy. And I think my concise way of writing, the fact that I've always felt it's a weakness of mine that I'm not able to go into as much detail as maybe people would like on a subject, myself included. I wish going to uni and in high school and looking at other people who write, it seems most writers have the opposite problem. They write too much and then they need to edit I've really taken to revising over the years with a passion. I enjoy looking over what I've written and testing each sentence to see if the rhythm works, if the word choices work. Can I say what I wanted to say with this sentence better? I find a real joy in that, and I think I've only gotten better at it over the years. But I already write concisely, so editing further not diminishes my work, but it shortens it even further. So I always feel like maybe I do need to put more examples into my work. I do that in the upcoming impressions video tomorrow, actually. I talk about the sound a bit, and to illustrate what I mean, I use examples from the game. And I'd like to do more of that. Even in my critiques, I think that would be a benefit. So, yeah, I guess aside from making this video to tell everyone that I'm going back to the old way of writing and making impressions videos, and that I would like to try for maybe once a week like I did in 2019, but I'm not going to hold myself to that. I guess I'd like some advice, not only about the name of the channel, but what the people who enjoy what I do, what you want to see moving forward. Do you prefer the Let's Plays to the impressions videos? What do you like about the impressions videos? What don't you like? Same thing about the critiques. Would you like to see more critiques? Like over the last few years, it seems I've been making less and less of them, because as projects, they've been getting larger and larger, or they've been more and more difficult for me to complete. And I know part of that is time management and my own anxieties every step of the way in from writing to recording to video editing on every critique project for maybe the last 3 years has been a very, oh, is this good enough? I don't think this is good enough. No one's going to like what I'm saying here. Why am I even doing this? The negative self-talk. And I powered through that every step of the way, but sometimes what that means is I might not touch a project for days or weeks at a time sometimes, which is detrimental to, ideally I would love to get a critique video out once a month, but that is this seems like it's not feasible for a while. Although, if I step back on impressions completely and, just did them at my own time to find games that I might like to talk about for critiques, then I guess I could focus the entirety of the time I spend on this channel, I could focus towards critiques. And I know in the past I've asked about that, and I've gotten about a 50-50 response, where some people have said, yeah, the critiques are your most important videos, so it'd be great if you just changed to that. And I agree to an extent, because a lot of the people I look up to when talking about YouTube games criticism, they come out with like a video once a month or even longer. So it feels like it's more special when they release a video. Meanwhile, here I am, impressions week after week, or, very regularly. And I wonder if there's just too much content there. And so when I do release a video, maybe if it gets lost in the deluge of everything else, YouTube. Of course, if you're watching the videos because you like me and what I have to say, then yeah, it doesn't matter when I release a video. But that saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder, or that, what was it? King's Quest V, absence makes the heart go yonder. Ah, puns. So yes, I'd love to hear your thoughts on critiques. If you do like the impressions videos, because a lot of my viewers, I know you do really appreciate the impressions, the fact that I'm regularly talking about a game in a very short amount of time. And often because of my tastes, they're weird indie games, and not everyone has the time to check out every new release, especially because, goddamn right, they just keep coming. game after game after game after game. So to have someone who, how to put it, I rely on the work of others too, to find out what indie games are making waves. I don't have the time to look into everything, but I keep on searching for this new experiences that may intrigue. And of course, I've got like a retro bug in me too. I like to go back and fill in like the gaps in my gaming knowledge of years past, and or revisit games that I remember playing when I was younger. And I guess that's it. I feel like it's a life problem for me, but the channel is a microcosm of it. I feel like my interests are pulled in too many directions and dimensions, I guess. Yeah, like maybe that's the other reason why I have trouble thinking of a good name for the channel. It feels like what I'm doing is lacking an identity. Yeah. And originally, I guess that was a benefit. It's like, look at all the things I'm doing. Hey, there's something for everyone here. And I guess that's evident in my audience as well. Some of you are here for the impressions. Some of you are here for the critiques. I gather some of you enjoy Dave's favorite games, but if you're still around, well, thank you, but maybe you've forgotten to take me off your subscription list. Don't do that. I need all the subscribers I can get. See, that's another thing. I know I should just enjoy creating the videos, but I get so caught up in the metrics of everything as well. It feels like it's impossible not to. They're just there. They're screaming. They're screaming at me every day. Oh, geez. And you know how I said at the start of the video that I wanted it to be a short one? Well, look at this. It's coming on to 20 minutes, so let's wrap this up. Okay. Okay, so let's conclude. What were the reasons for this? I wanted to announce that I'm going back to the old way of doing impressions. I'd like to ask if any of you have any ideas for a great channel name. I'd like to ask, what are your thoughts about the impressions? Would you prefer if I kept the Let's Plays going? Would you like me to go back to the old way? Would you like weekly updates with the impressions like I did in 2019, even if like the critiques would suffer or come out more staggered because of it? Would you like me to nix impressions altogether and just focus completely on critiques and be like a lot of other analysis/criticism channels where you'll only get a video once every month to 3 months? And I don't think they'll be much longer, to be honest. I think they'll still be in like that 10 to 15 minute category, but hey, I'll probably be able to make them more consistently. Or just your thoughts in general in response to this video. As you can see with the framing here, I bought myself a tripod for my phone, so it might be fun if I made more of these just videos where I'm talking to camera. Maybe I can talk about what's going on in the industry, or here's a thought I've been having as well. So, oh crap. This is going to go on forever if I do it, but I'm going to talk about this. Okay. So, what got me into writing about games was two things. In 2007, I went back to uni and I attended a class called Gameform, which was basically like a film analysis class, but for games. It was like, games are important, and here's how we can write and talk about them critically. And that made me go, Pwah! Just like, people can do this? There are people who are writing about games like they write about film. And God, I love talking about film ever since probably the early 2000s when I took a film analysis class, and we were showing Mulholland Drive, and I hated the movie when it ended so much. And then after the discussion, we watched the movie, it was a difficult movie, and then we had a discussion about it, and I'm like, wait, you can do this with film, and there's these levels of interpretation. Oh my God. A lot of my life has been kind of opening up to the idea that, whoa, you mean people dedicate themselves to unraveling these impenetrable works of art? Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, so I've always had a passion for this sort of thing. But then because of that class, I discovered the Brainy Gamer blog. Folks who were on the internet during like 2007 to 2009 talking about games might remember Michael Abbott's blog. He was the first kind of person online who I really saw discuss games critically. And because of him, in 2008, I started my own blog and I started writing about games critically. And I think that I started a podcast back then too with my friend Andrew. We were called the Console War Veterans. Silly name, I know. But we were talking about like new game releases and what was in the news in terms of video games. And God, that was fun. And that got me my job as an editor and writer for AppSpy, writing about iPhone games. And anyway, long story short is that around 2010, I think, to 2012, I did a series called Monday Musings, where what I would do, it was almost like a weekly newsletter. I would dedicate time to talking about every game I had played that week. And at that point, because I didn't have much structure, completing games has always been difficult for me. I guess it's the same reason why I started the Impressions. That idea of always trying something new has always appealed to me a great deal. This was kind of like that. So, like every day I'd almost be playing a new game. And if I continued to launch a game, I'd be playing small amounts of it every week. Like I'd be playing 5 games a week. And, so Monday Musings would be me writing about what I played, what I thought about it, if it triggered any thoughts to the greater sphere of games or life or art or, everything else. But it was mostly games. And then I would talk about maybe a greater issue in the community that I saw at the time, part of the discourse. And every week I would do that. Sometimes and that became almost the only thing I did on my blog for a while. I mean, this was back when I was still making webcomics, so that was like my primary creative output. And this was like, it was really like a newsletter. And every now and then I would write another article for the blog. But I've been thinking for years now, actually, if there would be a way to make Monday Musings work on YouTube, talking to camera. And, if I were to nix Impressions, I guess I could just talk about all the games I'd been playing just for my own personal enjoyment every week. So I guess that's an option as well. But considering how rambling this has become, we're almost at, actually, because this is going to be edited, we're not almost at the time I was about to say, and there'll probably be a little less. And I'll look foolish if I say a time. And I wouldn't want to look foolish. No. Oh, you can't help it, Dave. Let's wrap it up there. Okay, folks, if you've made it this far, thank you very much. I felt I needed to get this off my shelf, so I feel I need some guidance to ask the community. You find folks who watch my channel, what you like, what you'd like in the future. I know I've done this before, and because change comes slowly with me, or at least the thought about how to change comes slowly, and then all of a sudden one day I just go, that's the way, and I do it, and then I constantly second guess myself for months afterwards. That's just the way my mind works. I'd appreciate any thoughts, any advice. Basically, what you like about what I do, what you don't like about what I do, what you'd like to see more of, if you have ideas for different things you'd like to see. If you'd like me to talk about whatever's going on in the gaming industry, I mean, there are so many people out there that do it so much better than I could, but we all have to start somewhere, right? to be honest, I don't know if I want to, because so much of gaming discourse makes me just so sad and angry, and I think there's too much of that. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So sorry to end on a bit of a downer, folks, but no, these are the times we live in. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the return to the old impressions format tomorrow. Bye.